You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find. Hey, everybody, McGillbilly here.
And I'm Jamie.
Welcome to One More for the Good Guys podcast. We're the good guys. Also brought to you by Good Guys Cigars, where, guess what? We're the good guys. All that being said, if it's your first time being here with us, thank you for showing up. If you would, and you enjoy what you see and hear coming from this podcast, if you'd hit the like, subscribe buttons, that would freely help the channel. And also, if you'd like to leave a comment, that helps channel freely as well. If you'd like to get more of the stuff that we cover, more of our podcasts, more of our shorts, and all that stuff, you can hit the notifications bell, which would be a really good idea and an important idea on how to keep our stuff fresh to your algorithm with the YouTube losing their minds and limiting and censoring all of the different types of premium cigar content. That'd be a good surefire way for you to stay up with what we're doing, where we'll be next, and all the things we have to offer. What are we talking about today, Jamie?
We are talking about cold weather cigars.
All right.
Which is very appropriate at this time.
It is completely appropriate.
It is cold.
Time. It has been cold. As I heard a fella say one time, it's been ball shrinking cold. And I tell you, hopefully you're warmer in your part of the country, wherever you're watching this from, or your corner of the world, wherever you may be watching this from. But if you're not, and you have to face the cold weather like some of us and many of us do from time to time, we've got the cigars that we think would work best for you, as well as the lowdown on the different wrappers and different varieties of inside and or outside, time saving, all the good stuff here. But before we get into all that, we'll tell you about what we are smoking first. What are you smoking there?
I am smoking your cigar of the year, the Christophe Viente, which is the 20th anniversary from Christophe. And
Man,
you
what a cigar.
You can read all about that on a previous episode.
Yeah.
Previous episodes, if you will. And so I won't go into a whole lot about it. Just know that this is a bad boy right here. Need to smoke one immediately, and we have them.
Wonderful, wonderful cigar. Like you said, it was my 2025 cigar of the year. We got to meet Glenn Case, the owner and founder, CEO of Christophe Cigars. It is true, he is the nicest guy in the cigar industry.
He might be third.
But at any rate, great company, great story about a company and how they started in a very unconventional way and grew into the brand that they are today. Has survived 20 years in the premium cigar world,
which is a big deal.
That's a big deal. I am smoking the La Mezcla Cubana. And I forgot to pull up anything about it.
I got it here.
Tell them all about it there for me, buddy, if you don't mind.
The La Mezcla Cubana, which falls under you guessed it, the United Cigar label. It is a Ecuadorian Connecticut seed wrapper, Indonesian binder, Dominican and Nicaraguan and USA Pennsylvania fillers. That's the Rothschild size, or the short Robusto, I guess.
Only size they make it in, right?
Yeah, 4.5 inches by 54. And it's actually on our list of cigars to smoke during cold weather, too.
And we might as well start there.
Yeah.
This is my first time smoking the cigar. Jamie's had one before and really liked it. And it's a true value cigar as much as like very much like a lot of the other cigars in the United line. great little cigar. I'm completely happy with it so far. Burn is great. Combustion line is very good, and like we always say, that always tells you that they've aged and cared for their tobacco properly. They've fermented it correctly. And who is the maker of? Did we see that anywhere?
United announced it was resurrecting the La Mezcla Cubana brand in 2022. Which was originally founded by Victor Vital of the defunct company Legacy Brands. They returned to market in 2022, like I said. So it's United actually owns the brand.
Perfect.
At this point.
Perfect.
And I heard about them on the Ash Holes and sometimes on Cigar Authority. They come in a box of 50. I think that's correct. Is that right? Box of 50?
Yes, that's correct.
Box of 50. And they were just going on and on about it. And anyway, I really liked the one. You had one, right? From somewhere. We bought these, but you had,
I did.
You had one and let me smoke it.
That's right.
On a previous episode.
But yes.
And I really enjoyed it, especially considering the MSRP is well under a 10 spot.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Yeah.
I like what you did there.
See what I did there? So anyway, yeah, I really liked it. Now we're carrying it, and I guess it's as good a time to any to talk about how we chose these winter cigars. Cold weather and hot weather each have their challenges when you're smoking.
Very much so.
I feel like personally that real hot weather combined with real hot temperature when you're actually light it, it's worse on them. I feel like that a cigar, like a Connecticut shade wrapper cigar, I probably wouldn't take on the golf course if it were real hot because I'm handling it all the time and laying it down and all this. And I don't feel like
it would be a challenge here, especially with the humidity.
Humidity, right.
Well as a broadleaf would be kind of challenging with the humidity too.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Sorry to interrupt.
But either way, I feel like Connecticut shade holds up better in the cold for me than it would in the hot. Mm-hmm. Now, that may just be my imagination and preference, but it's the only Connecticut shade wrapper on this list.
I certainly think you're going to have some challenges if you're smoking these outside in the cold like we're talking about that's coming out right now. And we have a cigar choice for that very thing that we'll be able to tell you about as well. But if you do have some benefits of being able to smoke inside and you like a lighter wrapper or a lighter strength profile, I'm going to read you what Half Wheel said about, the La Mezcla Cubana. Pardon me. The La Mezcla Cubana is neither a complex cigar nor really a revolutionary cigar. It's a more refined version of lots of classic Connecticut shade profiles, but without the steady black pepper note that I typically find from the lightly tanned cigars. But just because it's not the most unique cigar in the world doesn't make it bad. Flavor-wise, this was as enjoyable as any cigar I've smoked for review during the last few months. And I would gladly smoke a lot more of these, especially for the price. So that's from Half Wheel, who is a very well a very good source, trusted source by the good guys, as well as the rest of the world for reviews and different things, product-wise, announcements, laws that may be coming into effect, anything cigar-related news. Half Wheel does a great job of covering that and separating the bullshit from the buckwheat. So, La Mezcla Cubana, great little smoke. Good little size. In the Rothschild size, I suppose. Is that what you said?
They're calling it the
Are
short
they calling
Robusto.
it short Robusto? Okay. Well, that makes sense with it being such a bigger ring gauge, I guess, with being a 54. But very good. I mean, the construction on it, again, is doing very well for my first one. I get I get some of that classic, like, hay, and I get a little cinnamon in there. Not the Jolly Rancher cinnamon or the Red Hots, but like true cinnamon. No pepper on the retro. Little floral component there, just a touch. Just a nice cigar. And again, value. Well under that 10 spot. So if you like a lighter profiled cigar, lighter strength cigar, I'd say this is probably a 2 to a 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
Yeah. On strength.
Yeah.
And we judge strength by the nicotine. And of course, I'll come back to this since I'm smoking it for the show, and we'll tell you more about it as we go along.
Yeah. For me, because I don't smoke inside unless I'm here at a smoke friendly or on the trailer. And you don't, at the honky tonk, you do smoke inside. For me, when I'm choosing a cigar, because I'm going to smoke weather be damned. Okay. Number one, if you're like us, you're going to get your smokes in. For me, time is the main factor for me.
Big time.
Because I want
especially
to be
in the cold.
Yeah, especially in the cold. The other day it snowed, and I sat out in a chair on the front where the sun was shining, had a heavy coat on, and was able to get through one of the cigars actually we have here. And it was great. It was great. It's something about the cold weather and the dark flavor of the cigar that I smoked, like I'm smoking now, for example. This Christoph would be great in the winter, but I wouldn't want it because it's, this is was this a Toro? Church? Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's like a 6 something by 54, 52.
Yeah, which is a 2-hour commitment.
Yeah.
At 30 degrees. And that's an issue for me.
That's right.
So I wouldn't pick something in this size. I would certainly pick maybe something like my cigar of the year, which was the Broadway in a Robusto size. It's called an extra Robusto, I think 5.5. But I tell you one that would be great for winter and any time of year, and becoming one of my fast favorites is the Fuente
short story.
And the short story in the Hemingway line, which of course is a Cameroon wrapper, and even the signature would be probably okay from a time factor, but the short story is of course Hemingway, the author, and the short story size is a 4x49 Perfecto.
Yeah.
Cameroon wrapper, Dominican binder and filler. And just a joy any time of year, but because of the time factor, you're looking at 30 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Little over, under.
Yeah.
You can get through it in 25. And it's a flavor bomb too. Yeah. So I'm getting all that flavor in a time frame where I can survive and not freeze to death. The Hemingway short story and the short story size is ideal for me. And the Cameroon will, I don't like to smoke Cameroon out in hot weather. I don't feel like it holds up very well, but I think in this case it would, and in a cold weather.
Here's your biggest thing about cold weather, extreme cold weather, and extreme hot weather. What you need to do is, for that cigar that you're thinking about smoking, you need to let it acclimate to the temperature that you're getting ready to smoke. Now, how do you do that? What do you do? Set it out outside on a table, or, well, I guess you could do that if you want, but if you give it at least 4 or 5 minutes, with you being outside in extreme conditions now, you give it a chance, because you think about it this way: you're taking it out of a 65, 66 degree humidor, and you're taking it out into 30 degree weather or 25 degree weather, whatever the case may be, or 85 or 95 degree weather or plus. And you're getting ready to hit it with a torch that burns at 3,000 degrees on the end of it. And then you're going to turn it into a natural, what are those things? Billows? No, not billows. What are the?
Yeah, billows.
Yeah. To where you're going to be conducting all this heat and this fire and this smoke coming through the thing.
And giving it all this air.
And giving it all of this cold air or hot air in with it. And, more than likely, if you just do that, you're going to come up with, you're going to come up with a crack or a split in the wrapper. Then you're going to be fussing over it. And then it's going to mess up your experience, and all that stuff. So give it a little time to acclimate. If you're standing outside, go out for a couple minutes, hold it in your hand. Your body heat.
Treat it like your butane lighter.
There you go.
Because your butane lighter doesn't do well under cold temperatures, as we talked about before, because the liquid versus the gas. So what I do is like you just said, I'll put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Keep it in the cello if it's got it. Yeah. Some of them don't come with it, of course. And I just put my hand on it, and then I bring it out there, because another factor is that if you're heating your home certainly with central heat and air, it dries it out.
Or if you're doing with gas, it really dries it out.
Yeah, you're looking, and even when you're using a temperature controlled humidor, most humidors that are temperature controlled are just wine coolers that they've turned into a humidor, and the refrigeration process pulls moisture out of the air. That's why you have a hard time getting a low temperature and the moisture content you want. So let it acclimate a little bit. I don't think it's as important to let it acclimate as it is when you go from 65 to 95. But I think that because you're going to set this sucker on fire,
it can't hurt.
It can't hurt at all. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreements with you on that. And putting it in your pocket or putting it in your hand and then putting it in your pocket is a great idea. Your body heat's going to warm it up. It's going to take care of that stuff for you and help you out with some pre-maintenance, some preventive maintenance, if you will.
One of my favorite things to do in the winter is to have a little fire in whatever the hell it is. Fire ring. And get close to it, get the warmth off that, and then light my cigar. It's one of my favorite things to do in the winter. And but still, time's a factor. I don't like putting a cigar this size out because I'm freezing to death. 25 minutes I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a great little thing for that. Okay. So there's your two different wrapper varieties, one being the Connecticut on the La Mezcla Cubana, as well as the Cameroon on the short story. Now, another cigar that would be a good option for you in the extreme hot and or the extreme cold, if timing is a factor of all that stuff, and Jamie's talking that 25 magic minute mark, is the Maduro Firecracker from United Cigars. This is a 3.5 by 52 little guy. It's got the little flag, the little tag, the wick, if you will. I just take my cutter, just like I would any other cigar, and clip that all off. You can pull it from under the tag if you wish, which you can see there. Well, that one just broke off, but you can see the little wick. So that's the way I do mine. But this is San Andres wrapper, which is a good, hearty, thicker, a little more oil, a little more hearty wrapper than the last two that we've spoke about for sure. It is a San Andres binder over, come on, You can do it. You just had it. What
You
did you
can do
do
it.
with it? Yeah, right here. There's where it was, right where you left it. Mexican San Andres wrapper over Dominican Criollo binder and a Dominican Ligero filler, giving it the pop of the firecracker. Great cigar. Again, this is going to be much like the short story. This is going to be a 25. If you're a fast smoker, can you smoke it in 20 minutes?
Sure.
Or you can go, if you're a slow smoker, you're going to smoke it in 30. Yep. So that sweet spot in there, I'd say, is probably about a 25 minutes. This is going to give you a lot of punch, a lot of, certainly going to be a little more powerful than the Cubana and or the short story. I would say this is going to be about a 7 on the strength scale. 6 to 7, depending on who you are, how much you smoked, your tolerance, all that good stuff. But great little cigar, lots of really good flavor, earth notes, as well as you're going to get some pepper, even though you've got the Dominican tobaccos in there, which don't normally talk about a lot of pepper. And then with the Ligero, comes that strength that you're going to get. And that's the Firecracker by United,
which they make also in Connecticut and Sun Grown. This one is my favorite, I believe, of that group.
This one's my favorite. I like the Sun Grown, but I think the Maduro is my favorite, with the Sun Grown a close second. And the Sun Grown, I believe, is a Habano wrapper, which is going to be a little thinner, but I think the Habano wrapper is going to hold up just as well for you. But certainly the Maduro in this San Andres wrapper. So are you noticing the theme here? You might have another San Andres wrapper cigar in your stock that you like in a short, in a Petit Corona, or in a small traditional style Robusto size, or something in, say, like this size. Put the 2 and 2 together, carry the 1, not is not, for all you Beverly Hillbilly fans out there, and you can do that too with yours.
This next one's one of my personal favorites. It's probably, this blend is probably in my top 5 year in and year out. This was Cigar of the Year in 2014, and in this size, it's just a pleasure. They are a little pricey, I will say, in this size. So this is one I'm always going to smoke now until it almost burns me, and that's the Oliva Serie V and the Milano, which if I can get you to focus, it's pretty good. Which I really enjoy in every size, and this is then the Petite Corona, which is the 4.5 by 46, and this is about a 20-minute smoke, I would say. That's not a whole lot bigger than an export.
Not a whole lot.
But not a whole lot bigger, which we'll talk about in a minute. But this is a flavor bomb. This is going to be it's Ecuadorian Sumatra over Nicaraguan binder and filler, so it's going to have a little punch to it, probably a 7 or 8.
That was the first, and that's a Sumatra wrapper.
Yeah.
Which is also going to be, it's going to be good and durable, a little bit more hardy of a wrapper. Which that you keep in mind for cold and hot weather.
Which I was going to say, we talked about on previous episodes, Sumatra is Indonesian tobacco seed grown, and this is, of course, like you said, Ecuadorian, so in Ecuador. So a lot of times you'll see Indonesian binder like, don't this have Indonesian in it?
I believe so, yes.
And say like the Bully is an Indonesian wrapper. So anyway, that's something that I learned this year, or maybe the end of last year, that I knew it, but it never dawned on me that, Ecuadorian Sumatra is just Indonesian tobacco grown in like Ecuador and Connecticut. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the Oliva V Milano, you can't go wrong in any size. But this is a great size if you just got, you need 20 minutes to get away from what's going on inside.
Yeah.
And do like I do, stick a audiobook in your ear or a podcast like this one.
Or stick the cigar in your ear.
Or stick the cigar in
You
your
might
ear.
love that.
You might, who knows? And it's something you're really going to like. And in that size is just a pleasure.
The first Milano I ever had was in that size. And I texted Jamie after smoking said cigar and said, I might have smoked one of the best cigars I've ever smoked.
And my response was, that's pretty big words.
Yeah.
That's pretty big, and ain't it? Yeah, it is. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it was one that we got at one of the clubs that we were in. I had one too, and I hadn't smoked it yet, and I smoked it, and I was like, And now it's one of my favorites. It's like, if we talk about the Mount Rushmore all the time, my rotating Mount Rushmore has the Oliva V Milano in it at any given time for a reason.
I wonder how many top 25 or top whatever lists that cigar has been on since it won Cigar of the Year.
Just on the CA list, I'd say 7 or 8 times.
Yeah. I mean, it's always...
usually at varying sizes. It's one that's good in all sizes too. Every size I've ever had.
It is very much so good in all sizes, and as well, with the Oliva family and the Oliva product, construction, draw, flavor, quality tobaccos, all of that is every time it's spot on. There's the consistency of their products from the O to the G to the V to, the ABC 1, 2, 3 are always spot on.
Yeah, they
in
are.
my opinion.
Definitely. And they like the G, the regular G, not the Maduro, but the regular G is a Cameroon wrapper, and it's one of our favorites. And we had some in that size, seems like, in the Oliva G Cameroon too.
We did, where we sold them.
Yeah.
It was a great one for beginners.
Yeah. And
who wanted to get into the Cameroon size because it was such a value, and it was such it was not a huge time commitment for a lot of
which would be
smokers.
perfect for this subject.
Yeah.
So
for new smokers for sure. We have in stock, and we don't have any available to show you right now, but Jamie's going to do some magic and put them right up here.
Right.
I would imagine.
Right in there. Right around in there.
Yeah, somewhere right in there.
See?
And I used my pointing finger, not my, but we have the Villager Exports. These little cigars come in a 4-inch by 37, and they come in a Brazilian wrapper, a Maduro wrapper, and a Sumatra wrapper. The Sumatra is what they call the natural. The Sumatra is in a yellow box. The Maduro's in a brown box, and the Brazilian are in the green box. Guys, this is the best value bang for your buck that you can find for quick smokes. You're a fast smoker, you might smoke one of these in 15 minutes. If you're a slow smoker, you might weasel 30 minutes out of it. I mean, somewhere around in there. But these are great. They are value. Villager is one of the oldest companies in Europe that do. These are machine rolled. They're come wrapped in tissue on the inside of the box. They're already pre-cut. All you do is set them on fire. And if you're a guy who gets to take a smoke, or a guy or gal that gets to take a smoke break on the job, or you're musicians like us, and you get a 10 or 15 minute
jig and reel break, and you're out on the porch.
These are perfect for that. They're perfect for those type of breaks, as well as in the cold weather where you could get out and not have to huddle up and bundle up and look like, what was his name? Was it Mikey? It wasn't Mikey. The little brother, Randy. You don't have to look like Randy off the Christmas Story in your puffed up North Face chiller killers to where you walking like a
Kemper bar.
Where you walking like a snowman on steroids. These are great for that. They're also for a new smoker or a buddy or a friend that's wanting to try a cigar for the first time. These are great little cigars too. And they call them cigarillos. But going back to the Villager Company, they are the leading producer of this type of cigar in all of Europe. And they've been around since the 1800s. We carry several of their premium hand-rolled cigars as well, the La Vencedora, the Villager Queller Cream, and the
1888.
The 1888, which is a great, all of those are great
Colorado
cigars. The Colorado wrapper, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, we carry multiple lines of the Villager product. We are big believers and big supporters of the Villager product. And if you're looking for something like that, man, these Villagers are the way to go.
And even though you said this, and it is true, they're good for everybody. They're probably our OG members who are cigar smokers. They buy them all the time. We can't keep them. People love them. They're affordable, and compared to the other machine rolled contenders in that size, there is no comparison.
No.
They are just better. If you're a Swisher Sweet person or a Black and Mild person,
heads and tails better.
They're just not even the same, and they're in the same price bracket. And you will not buy that stuff again once you start smoking these. We don't push a lot of machine rolled stuff because we're in the premium hand rolled business. But look, don't turn your nose up at it because, it's machine rolled. And because we didn't tell you, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we did tell you because we want you to know and be informed, and they're fantastic.
Yeah. Originated in 1888. Like I said, natural Sumatra wrapper, a Maduro wrapper, Brazilian wrapper. I know a lot of our folks who were previously cigarette smokers love the Brazilian wrapper. It's got a little more spice, a little more bang. But all three of them can't go wrong. And the best part about it is, man, they are so affordable.
Yeah, it's best. It's the most smoke time for your buck, period.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
And last but not least on this list, you've heard us talk about this guy many times. And
this one also made our top Maduro list. This one did.
Yes. You are correct, sir. We talk about this cigar lots because we love it. I mean, absolutely love it. And that is simply The Last Call in Maduro by A.J. Fernandez. This is in the Chiquita size. It also is 3.5 by 52, I believe. That's right. Let me double check
Chiquita. Huh?
Yeah, Chiquita. Where's that? Yeah, 3.5 by 50. So it's a little less ring gauge.
It's a short Robusto.
Yeah. An extra short Robusto, as the old timers, hillbillies would say. It's extra short. Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper with Nicaraguan binder and fillers. Also comes with the closed foot, so you don't need your torch. You give this a nice cut. Take your Bic or your soft flame butane lighter and fire it up. Just rotate it as you're lighting it. Take you several good puffs while you're lighting and rotating, and you're good to go. And this thing has got flavor beyond flavor. It's got a great little pop to it. I would say this is also probably, I'd say this is definitely, a 7 on the strength scale. But perfect little short cigar. Again, you're going to get in there. If you're a fast guy, or girl, you're going to get in there at 20 minutes. If you're a slower smoker, I have definitely gotten 30 minutes myself, and I'm a pretty slow smoker, but I have gotten 30 minutes out of one of these cigars.
Yeah, and something that just dawned on me about the strength level, you can, even as a newbie, you can afford yourself the opportunity to smoke something that's got a stronger nicotine, which is what we equate with strength, in a shorter, smaller cigar. Mm-hmm. Because I say this is a 7, okay, it's the equivalent of smoking a Toro in a 5. From a strength level because of the amount of nicotine you can get in. So you can get into some, in other words, you're not going to get in trouble from a nicotine overload with something like this if you were to smoke it a little too fast, quite as quickly as you would with something that's a bigger ring gauge and longer and got more tobacco in it in general.
Yes.
I was thinking about other contenders for this type of smoke in the winter would be the United line itself that goes with the United name in the Maduro would be a good winter smoke in the Robusto size.
Yeah. If you're looking for a little bit more, it's size-wise.
Size-wise. Mm-hmm. I have smoked the bullies, the Romeo bullies in the which are the Robusto size in colder weather. They've done okay. The main thing to me is about getting your cigar to behave is extreme changes in temperature and humidity very quickly are bad.
Yes.
So anytime that you can, torch lighters are for convenience. Okay. And anytime you can light with a soft flame lighter, you do. You should. We should here. We don't always because we don't ever think about having one around, if there's any kind of wind blowing or anything like that. But you're talking about a temperature difference in thousands of degrees difference. And heat, too much heat is bad.
And I think that's one of the big reasons why, when we tell you, if you go back and watch some of the lighting and cutting videos that we've done in the past, you'll notice when we are using a torch lighter for sure, let's say, I don't want to do it to one of those, but where you can see, we're going to hold that thing at least a couple of inches off of the flame itself, because that is the hottest part of that flame is the invisible part you don't see. You could put your hand up or finger up over 2 inches over the top of that and you get it back just like that because it's going to burn you up. So that toasting process of being able to do that and getting everything kind of acclimated, and then the reason you're rotating your cigar or rotating the lighter, and the reason you're going around the outside of it without charring or marshmallowing up the wrapper itself is to get all of that stuff kind of congealed is not the right word, but to get it all cooperating together, that you're not shocking that thing with 3,000 degrees and just jamming it right in. You're not that little kid at the Cub Scout thing that just jams his whole marshmallow into the fire and he eats it because, it's turned black and the center of it's still cold, Right. That's why you do that with the torch, to Jamie's credit and to his point on take it easy, man.
Yeah, and it's combustion temperature for tobacco is about half of the torch level.
Yeah.
So you get it's the only thing about the soft flame. It's just harder to control. If you've got any kind of wind or whatsoever, you're in trouble. But if anytime you can light with a lower temperature.
And if you're in an indoor space like say we are here in the honky tonk, we do the same thing with that soft flame. We'll toast the foot. We might not go as long as we would with a torch, and sometimes in some cases, depending on like what the cigar is made with, like for instance, a broadleaf or maybe something in a double Lajero or something like that, going to take a little bit more heat because that's just a visibly and uniquely thicker, rougher, more porous, more hardy type of wrapper that's going to need a little bit more,
right?
A little bit more heat. One that we left off, and we have these, and I want to be able to, if you're looking for a small cigar that's got a big bang to it, and you say, well, I like strong cigars. I only want strong cigars. I don't like Connecticut, or I don't like this. Well, if you're one of those old leather tongue tasters out there like that, you can also do the LFD double Lajero in the Chiselito. It is a Maduro wrapper, oscuro in color, which means it's really dark, with Dominican binder, Dominican filler. Mike, Jamie. These Dominican cigars don't have any strength. They're not like a Nicaraguan cigar. They don't have the pop and the gusto and the blah, blah, blah. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. You understand what I'm saying?
LFD Lajero says, hold my beer.
That's right. In the Chiselito, it is a Maduro wrapper. It is in a 5-inch by 44. And it has the chisel shape to it. And what's great about that is you don't need a cutter. So wintertime, summertime, short on business, short on time to be smoked. Just be ready, because it's going to get you if you're not careful.
Like drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah. It's
about
got
22 minutes.
Yeah. It's got the flavor and it's got the power behind it. But the LFD Chiselito is one of those little cigars that's great for the extreme heat.
When we first got those in, I'll never forget, we've got a customer that'll come up and buy a single stick at a time, and he's a cigarette smoker too, and we just gotten those in. And I can remember watching you talk about that. You weren't in the trailer, you were out under the tent, and
I know exactly.
And
who
now
you're
he
talking
gets
about now.
one because he's like, oh, I like strong. Okay, well,
yeah,
he likes them.
Yeah, and he got about, and I prefaced selling this to him just like I have to you all by describing and telling you about it, showing it to you, right? And, he wasn't obnoxiously saying, rah, 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 I've had harder licks in the back seat on prom night. He wasn't quite that obnoxious with it, but he was letting me know he was a smoker.
Wasn't his first rodeo.
Wasn't his first rodeo. And I said, hey, that's cool, man. Just want you to know, just giving you the information. And he got about an inch into that thing, and he looked at me, he goes, whew, I'm really feeling this one. Yeah. I said, I told you, I warned you. So those are the short cigars, good for cold weather. What did we say this name of this episode was?
Cold weather cigars.
Cold weather cigars. That's it, and that's that about those. You got you several different wrapper varieties, everything from a Pennsylvania broadleaf, San Andres, to Connecticut, Cameroon, and a Sumatra. If you can't find something to smoke in that, well, you're just not doing it right.
You're just being difficult.
Yes, that's right. You're so difficult, Marty. But at any rate, that covers. Actually, we got even more because we added the Villager and the Chiselito in there.
Yeah, so 7.
You got plenty of opportunities, plenty of chances, plenty of good cigars there that'll help you get through the cold weather season, and in short fashion to do.
And it just reminded me of a tip I saw that this was actually the guys at Davidoff. I saw a video of this. And
don't do it.
Based on the time you have, there's been times when I'll start a smoke and then something comes up. I got to deal with work. I've got to go somewhere, whatever else. And I've started a Churchill, and I'm like, man. So I just run my guillotine cutter up there and find the hot spot and cut it, bring it back in the house and smoke it later.
Yeah.
It can, if you don't cut it correctly, it can lend itself to some unraveling or whatever. But I saw the guy on Davidoff take a Davidoff like a late hour or something. It's like, you only got 30 minutes. He went and clipped it, put the rest aside, and he lit that sucker and smoked it. So
yeah, that's, I mean, let your conscience be your guide on that.
Well, my point is that it's always, well, you can't relight a cigar, you can't do this, that, and other. And
that's
the kings of bougie smokes, who the Davidoff people, said it's okay to cut them.
Yeah.
So,
and if you want to know a perfect way to relight your cigars, we've got that tip for you too. And I show this to people how many times a week, you think? Three or four times a week.
Because they're always letting it go out.
And with me on this podcast, if you'll go back and watch episodes, because I'm always flapping my gums so much, a lot of times my cigar will go out. And I use this relighting technique every single time I relight a cigar. You just take your cigar, say, this one's not out. This one's actually been burning great. But if it goes out, you take it and just roll that ash off, gentle like. If you're in a place where you can give it a short, one of those. You can give it one of those and blow off some excess ash. But you just take your lighter, just like as if you were lighting it from the very beginning, and just keep toasting that thing until the foot turns good and cherry red. And then when you put it up to your mouth, you strike the lighter again, and I want you just to blow through it. Turn it, blow through it, turn it, blow through it. And you'll see some sparkles come off of it, some ash and different things. And what that does is it gets all of your carbon buildup out of that ash, and burns it off.
Which tastes bad.
Yeah. And it burns all that off, and it doesn't taste like you're relighting a cigar that's been laying in an ashtray for a day and a half.
That's right.
So, good little tip to know, and we'll get it. We'll actually do that again one time. We'll give you a demonstration of it. But all of that to be said, we've got you at least 8 or 10 different wrapper varieties, different styles, from a 4x37 of what the Europeans call a cigarillo size, all the way up to the La Mesa Cubana, which is a 4.5 by 54 ring gauge. You got to be able to find something there. If you want to know more about these cigars and more of the stuff that we do, you can go to goodguyscigars. You know the rest, and you can find out all about it there. My final verdict on this La Mesa Cubana, since we're wrapping everything up, again, it only comes in the one size.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And I'll tell you something else I appreciate, and often gets overlooked in the cigar world, is I don't have to have a cigar every time that goes from Frosted Lucky Charms to Skittles to Milky Way. Okay, that don't have to have extreme variations in the thirds. I don't need it to be so complex that I have a hard time. It could be 2 or 3 different things of tasting notes that I'm trying to find out. There's much to say about a cigar, and much to say positively about a cigar that has good taste, good construction, right off the bat. And I think this La Mesa Cubana ranks in that range of cigars. I'm with Half Wheel. Nothing overly special, nothing overly groundbreaking about complexity or any of that type of stuff. But man, pretty damn good smoke from start to finish. I'm just now coming out of the second, third, and again, there's some creaminess to it. There's some of that hay, a little bit of funk, a little bit of horse manure, that kind of thing that you get in a lot of Cuban brands or blends. There's a little bit of floral note through the retro, as well as just a touch of pepper. Great cigar.
Great burn.
Great burn. Construction's good. Draws excellent. And the most important, I say one of the most important parts is you will not need a cosigner to buy one of these.
No. Or a box.
Or a box of them.
And it's a big enough box where you can split it with a buddy and really not have nothing in it.
That's the move. This is a buddy split cigar.
Yes, it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anytime you see these cigars coming in blocks and or boxes of 50s, even in bundles like the big wheels, that's what, if it's something you and a buddy can agree on, or you have the same type of tastes with your palate, man, that's what to do, because you can get them out of song.
Or you can get two boxes, the box Maduro. Of those and the Punch Classico Maduro. Yeah. Got two boxes of 50. Now you've got a box 50 each with two different blends.
Two different blends, two different wrappers, two different two different strength scales as well.
Right. Yeah. And then you've got a lot of the flavor spectrum covered in one purchase.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for vanilla ice cream. It's vanilla. It's really good vanilla, but it's vanilla from start to finish. And cigars that do that get a lot of, it's not very complex. Well, you know what? Neither's vanilla ice cream, but I eat the shit out of it. So it doesn't always have to be, yes, I had a 5-course meal of this cigar. It started out like this and whatever. And there's something to be said for that. That's great.
I like that vanilla. It's got them little niller beans in it, man.
The little niller beans, little specks in it.
Hey, man, I like them niller beans. Oh, man. La Mesa Cubana, get you some today. Any rate, I think we got it covered. That's it. That's that. Folks, be kind to one another, for God's sakes. It doesn't cost a dime, but there's always a price to be paid for cruelty. Jamie, would you like to do another one of these?
Sure.
You heard it here first. Cheers, everybody. One more for the good guys.
I'll be gone in the morning before the sun comes up, with me and my weenie dog and my pickup truck. And either way, baby, a good man, it's hard to find. I said, now either way, baby, a good man, it's hard to find.